Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would recreate a makeup look that I did on a test shoot with a gorgeous Australian model. The images turned out really well, so I'll pop a few of them in here for you now. I just think she looks crazy expensive. She came in with this gorgeous tanned, perfect skin and luscious dark brown hair. And this is one of the looks that we created together. So I thought I'd recreate it for you now. I know we're not in summer yet, not even half, but with the sun starting to come out of the sky, it did make me want to recreate a look like this. It's not the best for someone of my skin tone. I don't think that the colour of the lip really suits me the best, but I wanted to faithfully recreate what we did on the day. So please keep on watching if you'd like to see the full tutorial. Today I'm starting out with completely fresh skin. All I've got on is moisturiser and eye cream, and I'm going to go straight in with a tinted moisturiser. This one's from NARS and it's got a really glowy finish. I want the skin to be super natural. You can tell my skin is super dehydrated and dry because this tinted moisturiser is normally unbelievably shiny on other people, and I don't know if it's come across in camera, but at least in front of me in the mirror, I don't look shiny or even dewy or glowy at all. Don't know what's going on there. Before I go in and do any concealing, I'm just going to go in with Huda Beauty Tantour and warm up the high points of my face. Tamika had really incredibly bronze skin. Obviously hers is more natural because she's from Australia, whereas mine is going to have to come straight out of the product. With this product I'm almost trying to make myself look a little bit sunburnt, so I've gone right across the nose, across the forehead, and just on the high planes of the face. I'm not being afraid of it. I want to look sort of tanned and glowy because actually the lip colour later requires a little bit of richness to the skin. With the same brush I'm going to go in with NARS Luster, the liquid blush, and I'm just going to take that and mix it into the bronzer. Just because, again, it's enhancing that sort of sun-kissed shade. It's sort of like a warm coral, but for sort of paler skin tones like my own. I'm also going to use a product from Suqqu, which is a stick highlighter, just along the high points of the face, again for that sort of like dewy, glossy look. We were shooting in daylight, so you kind of need more creamy products that don't read as textures on the skin. This catches the light so beautifully and was something that we were gifted at Fashion Week, and ever since then I've been using it incessantly. Hopefully that's picking up on the camera. I'm going to be taking my go-to product, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but I'm going to be cutting it down with a little bit of moisturiser because I want the skin to again still look very glowy, dewy, fresh. I don't want this to read as a texture, and it can sometimes be a tiny bit heavy. So I'm taking it on a duo fibre brush. I've just mixed it up on my hand, and I'm going to go under the eyes just slightly. Nothing too bright this time because I don't want, again, to make it look too intense, thick, or makeup-y per se. I'm going to take it on the outside corners of the eye as well for my discoloration, just a little. I'm also going to take the time now to tidy up around my face where I've got a little bit messy. I have a bit of a dip here in the terms of the colour on my cheeks, just because of my facial shape, so I often clean up here with a little bit of concealer. I'm going to use my foundation brush to blend it in. Just going to help draw my face back up. I'm going to leave the skin to settle for just now, and I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow. I've decided to use the NARS Skin Deep palette because I feel like I can get all of the shades in just this one palette, and I think it'd be good for me not to use a million different things. So first of all, I'm going to go in with a sort of like shimmery shade all over the lid. I'm not priming the eye. I literally want just a slight wash of it. You can see I'm not looking for intense payoff. This was just, again, a whisper of colour, a little sheen that would pick up in the daylight. I'm taking some of the warmer shades in the palette over here and just dabbing off most of it. This was actually okay for Tamika's skin tone, but not so much for mine. And I'm just taking that in the outer corner of the eye for a bit of definition. What I am going to do, and what I did also do for Tamika, is to just draw the eye out at the very corner once I've taken most of the shadow off, just to give it a sort of uplift It's not going to read very heavily. I don't want it to look like a severe wing, but I do want it to look like the shadow is going up and out and just blend it in with the rest of the eye. Very frustratingly, I just found out that the memory card was full and it missed a step. So I'll just tell you what I did. I went in with this gold shade along with a pencil brush along the very root of the lashes, just to provide a little bit of definition, but to keep the shine going on the eye. I also used a little bit of this brown shade underneath the eye on a fluffy brush and tidied up with the concealer that we'd already used earlier. I've just done a whacking great big eyelash curl with my Uemura lash curlers, and I'm going to go in with the Volume Million Extra Black, what is it? Volume Million Lashes Extra Black, yeah, from L'Oreal, which is a staple for most makeup artists, but I'm doing it on one of my disposable spoolies. I actually do this for a very particular reason, because I don't want loads of mascara, and these ones actually don't give you loads like the original brushes do. Obviously you should be doing this anyway for sanitation, but I just really want the lashes to be darker, but not super thick or full. I feel like sometimes the less you put on, the more expensive it looks. Now the biggest thing screaming out to me at the moment is my eyebrows. I normally have them done first thing, however, because I'm doing a bold lip today, I want to have the lip on first before I balance with the brows. I'm going to be using the Velvet Matte Lip Pencil from NARS, and this one is in Red Square. Ordinarily this doesn't suit my skin tone because I'm not really bronzy enough for it, but because I've used all that bronzer from Huda Beauty, hopefully it's going to work on me. It certainly worked on Tamika, who was just gorgeous, and her tan worked so perfectly with this shade. I'm just going to go straight on all over and work it into my lip. Sometimes you can actually just leave it there and you don't need to worry about lining the lips. Because I don't have like a really solid lip line, like a lip border, sometimes these kind of lip colours can just look really stuck on. So I'm going to go in with a bit of stripped down pencil from MAC, just to kind of almost nude out the outline. Make my lips look a bit fuller as well. I think sometimes a step like that can just ground the look for you. And then go back in with the red slightly over it to blend. And it just provides you a sort of more natural contour. Okay, now we can finally go in with the brows. I'm going to be using a product from Me Cosmetics, which is called the Brow Styler. It's basically like a little pen where you can draw individual hairs. I don't think, unfortunately, my normal styler brow will suit this look. With Tamika, we really just brushed the hairs up, and then I just did a few fine strokes to kind of fill in any gaps, but I don't want a full looking brow for this look. I'm starting with dark blonde at the very inner corner of the eyebrows because I don't want there to be a lot of brow here. And I'm just drawing in fine lines, little strokes, and while it's wet, brushing it through and up, reinforcing the shape slightly. So let's go in with medium ash. I could probably get away with just medium ash, to be honest, but pop that in this side here. That way we'll still be fluffy, but we'll get a little bit more sort of depth into the brow. I'm a huge fan of brow pens. I think they're really, really fabulous. Once I've drawn those individual hairs in, I just went in with the Collection Clear Mascara, the Colour Lash, just to brush them all up and get them nice and bushy. Slightly more editorial vibe. At this point, I'm sort of just assessing the look and seeing where it's at, and I think I remember putting some highlight in the inner corners of Tamika's eyes, so I'm actually going to use Ricepaper from MAC. I think I used a darker shade for Tamika, but I have really, really pale skin, so I need to go for something slightly lighter. Because of the harsh lights that are on me, I am going to powder a tiny bit, just using the Prep and Prime translucent finishing powder, and just softly pop that through the centre of the face, just so that you guys aren't overwhelmed with shine, but I didn't use any powder on Tamika at all. So here it is, this is the finished look. I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of red square on myself, even when I have bronzed up my skin, but it is what I used on Tamika. I think this looks great with, you know, people with tan skin, any more warmer complexions, but I think I'm just that little bit too pale. I tend to suit more sort of classic reds, and I really, really like those. But I wanted to be true to the look that we created on set, so that you can see what we did, basically. As you can hopefully see, the skin is really sheeny and glossy. There's no texture reading on my skin at all. Obviously there's a lot of colour, but I think that was really enhancing on the shoot, and it, I hope, ended up looking really, really expensive. And I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Pop them in the comments below, and like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to. Hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye guys.